හතරයි. right.
A very good morning to all. I'm Charity Senaratna from University of Sri Jayavardhanapura, your host for the day. It is with great pleasure and honor we welcome you all to the grand finale of the Inter-University Debate Competition 2021, organized by the Institution of Engineers, Sri Lanka. For 4 long months, the initial rounds of the debate were held grandly, followed by the semi-final rounds. 7 universities from all over Sri Lanka fought neck to neck, debating on highly significant contemporary topics. Along with the experience gathered in the previous rounds and the acquired skills in overcoming challenges, battling for an esteemed title of victory, today in the grand finale, we have University of Ruhuna and University of Peradeniya. The topic for today's finale is the renowned entrepreneur Margaret Heffernan once said that for good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, and debate. Commemorating the famous words and while wishing both the teams best of luck on yet another heated contest, we would now formally commence the event. To welcome the virtual gathering, Chairman of YMS IESL, Engineer Damit Disanayaka will address you shortly. Engineer Damit Disanayaka is a chartered civil engineer, graduated from the University of Peradeniya in 2007. Being an executive engineer in the Provincial Road Development Department of Northwestern Province, he is also a council member of IESL and the chairman of the Young Members section of IESL. Now I cordially invite Engineer Disanayaka to welcome you all. So would you please oblige?
Yes, uh, thank you very much, Ms. Charitri. Good morning to you all. You all have joined to the grand finale of the Inter-University Debate Competition 2021. As the YMS, it is our duty to welcome you all for this grand debate and briefly explain the purpose of this event. First, let me welcome you all. First, I would like to welcome our Chief Guest Engineer, KPIU Dharmapala, the President of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka, and Engineer Arjuna Manamperi, the President-elect of IESL, Professor Gamunu Herath, the Dean Faculty of Engineering, University of Peradeniya, and Dr. Harsa Suryarachi, the Dean Faculty of Engineering, University of Peradeniya. So we would like to welcome you all for this grand event. And I would like to, I mostly welcome the academic staff of all the universities and Dr. Sujiv Vimalasena, the liaison officer of University of Ruhuna, and Engineer Mahanama Disanayaka, the liaison officer for University of Peradeniya. Professor Udayanga Mapala, senior lecturer, University of Morato, is the advisor. He's the one of advisors of YMS. And Engineer Chamil Ledirimuni he's also advisor for YMS. And I would like to welcome our match referee engineer Kovida Bakbideniya and the three judges, three adjudicators for this grand finale, Dr. Asankar Rodrigo, Mr. Viren Beruwala, and Mr. Gihan Samaravikramasa. You all are welcome to this grand event. And I would like to welcome Engineer Tirina Disanayaka, the moderator of this grand finale. Engineer Navodana Kankanamge, our immediate past chairman of YMS, and Engineer Randita Rajapaksa, the secretary of the young YMS, and Engineer Isam Dahanayaka is the chief coordinator of this inter-university debate competition. And I would like to welcome Mr. Pradeep Patum, the secretary of the organizing committee, and all the undergraduates and the young engineers of this organizing committee. Let me explain few things about YMS and its activities. This is a hard time for all of us because of this prevailing pandemic situation. But as the YMS, we never gave up. We selected the virtual platform for some of our programs. As the YMS, we organized several programs for the young engineers, undergraduates, and school students as well. We conduct a program, namely Talk to School. That is a motivation for the school students. There's a motivation program for the school students. And YMS organized several awareness programs, awareness programs and the guest lectures, the panel discussion, and etc. In this year, we focused our attention for two major events. That is the YMS Technical Conference and the Inter-University Debate Competition. Regarding this debate competition, this is the first time we are organizing this inter-university debate competition. We believe that this is a good opportunity for the undergraduates to improve their communication skills along with the critical thinking. They will need to present their ideas in a clear professional style, which will enable them to develop their speaking skills. Finally, this event will build a bridge in between these universities. They will build some interaction in between these students from the various universities in Sri Lanka. In addition to this, the graduates, those who are in this organizing committee, worked very hard and acquired a lot of experience. They were able to showcase their talents, contributing for the organizing works. These are some kind of hidden values. This is a process of more than 5 months, not 2-3 weeks. 7 engineering faculties participated for this debate competition. And finally, these 2 teams qualified to this grand finale. Finally, as the chairman of the YMS, I want to say that the YM is ready to give its maximum for the betterment of this young generation. We hope this young generation will come forward, take the battle and drive this country to the right direction. With that message, I conclude my welcome speech and the opening remarks. Again, I would like to welcome you all for this grand final match of the inter-university debate competition. Thanks, and over to you, Master of Ceremony, Ms. Charitri. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, now we are slowly moving towards the most awaited and intense rivalry of the year. The Inter-University Debating Championship has come down to its last hurdle to find out who will own this grand title. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm very much honored and flattered to introduce you our propositions and oppositions, the University of Peradeniya and University of Ruhuna of this match.
there are three important things that we should remember when it comes to being successful as a team.
It always seems impossible until it's done. Never give up.
Physically and mentally.
Team spirit comes the first.
We can win anything with the above three.
We are rooted, ready to show who is the best in this arena.
Yes, of course. Two of the most prestigious universities in Sri Lanka are ready to take up the heat, but the question is, are you ready? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you the moderators of this grand finale. The moderator of the grand finale of the Inter-University Debating Championship, Engineer Tilina Dissanayake. So Engineer Tilina Chamara Dissanayake obtained his Bachelor of Science in Engineering degree from the University of Peradeniya and earned an MBA as well. He is currently the proprietor of Infinity Engineering, who is also a consular and a motivational speaker. The backup moderator of the grand finale of the Inter-University Debating Championship, Engineer Sherby Samon, Director of Ceylon Tea Brew. He is a director of Ceylon Tea Brewer Private Limited and former automation and instrumentation engineer of Holcim Sri Lanka Limited, former project engineer of INSEE Cement, president of Puttalam Toastmasters Club, senior secretary of IES Puttalam District Center, and entrepreneur and a manufacturer and an investor. So moderator and backup moderators, I'm handing over this session to Robert.
Thank you very much. Engineering undergraduate Shehan, who is working as the MC for today's session. It is better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. Welcome to the grand finale of the inaugural debate competition organized by the Young Members section of the Institution of Engineers, Sri Lanka. We are all super excited as this is the very first time we have witnessed such an event in this caliber between the engineering faculties in Sri Lanka. In one corner, it is the debate team from the south representing Faculty of Engineering, University of Ruhuna. In the other corner, it is the debate team from the Central Highlands representing Faculty of Engineering, University of Peradeniya. So let's get on to the business end of today's debating competition. Although we played few matches before, let me take few minutes of your valuable time to explain the rules and regulations of this competition for the sake of the players as well as viewers, since this is the grand finale. Each team have 6 members, 4 speakers and 2 reserve speakers. Each speaker will have 6 minutes for his or her speech, and at the end, team member will get 7.5 minutes for the summary. Timing starts with the first word uttered by the speaker. Speakers will see the timing screens during their whole speeches as follows. From the beginning of the speech, they will see the green color, and at the end of the 5th minute, they will see the yellow color, and at the end of the 6th minute, they will see the red color, which will stay until the speaker finishes. Consequently, in the summary speech done by the captain, the green screen will appear from the beginning, and at the end of the 6th minute and 30 seconds, the yellow color will be shown, and at the end of the 7th minute and 30 seconds, the red color will be shown, and which will be kept until the end of the speech. The reserve members of a team can help the speakers to share resources by screen sharing and etc. In case of disconnection, if the speaker gets disconnected less than 1 minute into his or her speech, he or she can restart the speech from the beginning. If the speaker gets disconnected after 1 minute into his or her speech, he or she has to restart the speech from the point it got disconnected. After each speech, there will be 2 minutes of silence for the judges to mark their ballot sheets. All team members of the proposition team has to rename themselves as follows. PRO_1 name. I'll read it again. PRO_1 name. The leader of the proposition team shall rename him or herself as PRO_1 name, and in the brackets, he or she should mention as leader. All team members of the opposition team has to rename themselves as follows. OPP_1 name. I'll read it again. OPP_1, 2, or 3, 4 consequently name. And the team leader of the opposition team should rename as OPP_1 name, and within the brackets, he or she should label as leader. All this is to avoid technical difficulties in the Zoom platform. The total points of each team will be released with the final results. The results of the judges are final. In any competition, especially in a competition such as this, judging plays a very crucial role. So now it's time to introduce the panel of judges for today's session. The first judge is Dr. Asanka Rodrigo. He is a senior lecturer attached to Faculty of Engineering, University of Moratuwa. He is also the former Director General in the Sustainable Energy Authority in Sri Lanka. The next in line is Mr. Viren Beruwalage. He has obtained his BSc Honours degree in Economics from University of St. Andrews. He is also a member who represented the St. Andrews University at the World Universities Debating Championship in the year 2020. He is also a member in the debating circle in Sri Lanka. The third and final member of the judge panel for today's session is Mr. Gihan Samaravikrama. He has obtained his basic degree in the field of business management. He is a former debate captain in the Ananda College. He is also working as a coach and adjudicator for many debates. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, and it's a great privilege to have you all with us today. We also have a match referee for today's event. The referee for today's match is Engineer Kovida Bakmedeniya. He is a civil engineer by profession and currently working attached to the building department. He is an associate member of the Institute of Engineers Sri Lanka, and he is a former debater and a captain in Trinity College, Kandy. He is also a member in the debate circle in Sri Lanka. Also, I would like to welcome and invite him to give a brief description about today's competition. Engineer Kovida, over to you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Thilina. Firstly, I would like to welcome all of you to this grand finale. From the start, we have been together in this tournament, and we have witnessed some wonderful performances and wonderful debates by all the universities. And I must say that we have come a long way, and from where we started and where we are now, to all those who have witnessed the matches have an idea of how intellectual, how professional, how in fact, for a lack of a better word, how beautiful these performances were. So now that we have come here, I would like to speak certain specific ideologies, I might say, that I would like to share before we go on to the debate. That is, all you students, all the individuals who witness these matches have witnessed how, as engineers, we have approached many topics with respect to engineering, with respect to many other fields, as in we went to the media field, politics, economics, and how we brought in facts and how we discussed these as intellectuals, as professionals, as engineers, how our idea, how we would analyze and give solutions to the problems in all these fields. We might not be able to influence these the other fields, but then again, we do have an intellectual capacity to identify these problems and also to give solutions to these problems. As engineers, I think as professionals, we need to participate and support all these avenues in order to make our country to rise up as a country as a whole. So this practice, this experience, I would like to tell all of you, not only the competitors, to all of you listening, to have this ability to improve your intellectual capacity, to identify issues and to formulate a thought and formulate an opinion, and also to welcome and to accept others' opinions, others' different opinions about all these fields. You might know about it, or you might not know about it. You might have an opinion, but then welcome them. You know, these kind of practices, this experience we have gained, this is what we should be doing. Not being one-sided, one-minded about any problem. We should have all, because all these opinions, one might see in a different manner, but we might not see the issue. So this training we got from this particular this particular tournament, I need all of you to have it for your future endeavors, your future when you walk out there to the world, to use this practice and to improve yourself as individuals, as professionals, and use this practice to better yourselves, because you might never know. You might never know that your opinion might be welcome. You might think that I'm an engineer, I should not participate in other things, or I should only think about what I'm. But no, you might entertain an opinion, respect others' opinions, and if you have a professional opinion against it, respectfully say it, and then collectively make a collective thought for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the world, and betterment of ourselves inwardly. So we might be able to improve ourselves. So that's the practice. That's the message I need to give. So that's all I would like to say, and welcome you all again. Let's have a wonderful debate. I will not stress on the ethics or anything like that. We all know about it. We all understand it, like I would do in the previous matches. But let's go ahead with a clean match and clean debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Kovida, for your valuable inputs for today's event. Let's move on to the main event, which is the competition. The topic for today's event is shifting towards 70% of renewable energy power by the year 2030 is feasible regardless of the current economic standpoint and framework of Sri Lanka. I'll read it again. Shifting towards 70% of renewable energy power by the year 2030 is feasible regardless of the current economic standpoint and framework of Sri Lanka. Before the big event, let's identify the two teams in their speaking order. First, the proposition team from the University of Peradeniya. The first speaker is engineering undergraduate Sadia Jamil, who is also the lead. The second speaker, engineering undergraduate Chatumini Vijaypala. Third speaker, engineering undergraduate Netmi Satsarani. The fourth speaker, engineering undergraduate, Akita Pathirana. The two reserve speakers are engineering undergraduate, Denuka Jayavira, and engineering undergraduate, Pasindu Sandarwan. The opposition team from the University of Ruhuna. The first speaker, engineering undergraduate Vidura Vijayakon, who is also the team leader. The second speaker, engineering undergraduate Maza Zaid. The third speaker, engineering undergraduate Ravindu Sanjula. The fourth speaker is engineering undergraduate Aisha Ajwat. The two reserve speakers are engineering undergraduate Vaishwani Piranaswati and engineering undergraduate Anita Subaran. So let's begin the competition. Let's move on to the very first speaker. Engineering undergraduate Sadia Jamil. Can you please turn on your camera and check your video and audio, please? Yes.
Sabriya, and
Oh.
Sabriya.
Sadia Jamil නැද්ද?
නෑ Sabriya කතා කරන්නේ වෙනු.
ඔව් හරි. Yeah, and
නෑ. අවුරුත් නෑ.
වෙනව නේද?
හරි.
Okay, Shabri Samun, you can go ahead.
We are here as the proposition team to propose the topic of shifting towards 70% of renewable energy power by 2030, which is feasible regardless of the current economic standpoint and framework of Sri Lanka. First of all, let me elaborate the keywords of the debate for your better understanding. First keyword, renewable energy. As per the definition of Britannica Encyclopedia, renewable energy, also called as alternative energy, usable energy derived from replenishable resources such as sun, wind, river, hot springs, tides, and biomass. And we are here to talk about the feasibility fulfilling 70% of renewable energy of total energy portfolio of Sri Lanka, not about achievability of 70% of renewable energy, which are two different scenarios in this debate. That takes me to explain the next keyword, which is feasibility. As per the precise definition of Oxford Dictionary, feasibility means the state or degree of being easily or conveniently done. But proposition team continuously build this debate upon the word, the ability to be brought about or accomplished successfully, which is the definition of achievability. With that, let me conclude my speech. Our proceeding speakers will elaborate and establish the motion of proposition team. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Let's give 2 minutes of silence for judges to mark their ballot sheets.
Engineer Tiliner, judges have marked their ballot papers.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the first speaker from the opposition team. The first speaker of the opposition team is engineering undergraduate Vidura Vijayakon. Can you turn on your video and check your audio and video, please?
My video seems to have a small issue. Just let me check again. Hold on. Is my video on? I think my video is on.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah. Okay. Can you spot? I think you'll have to spotlight. Anyway, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So here we have come today to the finals to debate on the topic shifting towards 70% renewable energy power by 2030 is feasible regardless of the current economic standpoint and framework of Sri Lanka. Now, as we saw, the proposition team first speaker gave a good speech and a good comprehensive explanation about the topic and about the keywords. Now, let me remind you, as the opposition, we are here not to actually oppose this particular motion. We are actually setting a different, a parallel sort of a motion, whereas we say, we ask you the question, is it feasible? Regarding when you talk about the current economic standpoint and framework of Sri Lanka, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, Sri Lanka, economic standpoint and framework of Sri Lanka. As we all know, we know what the economy is about in today in Sri Lanka and how it is currently faring and how it is going to be in the next few years. But what our team here is going to tell you, is going to explain to you, is going to justify to you that shifting towards renewable energy in 2030, my dear ladies and gentlemen, 9 years down the line, we are going to show you that even though it is achievable, maybe, who knows, but is it feasible? So my team members, second speaker, third speaker, fourth speaker, and myself in the summary will explain to you, will solidify our motion, will tell you without beyond any reasonable doubt that shifting towards 70% renewable energy by the year 2030, it's just 9 years down the line, is not at all feasible. Not at all feasible, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Wow, we have come to the end of today's competition. Let's give 3 minutes of silence for the judges to mark their ballot sheets. I'd like to hand over the controls to undergraduate Charitri to proceed with the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Dissanayake. Organizing a debating competition, especially on a virtual platform, surely was not an easy task. As they say, it always seems impossible until it's done. For months and months this year, there was a team behind this debating competition, putting in their best efforts, ensuring that the talent of the undergraduate youth in Sri Lanka see light of day. And every step of the competition achieves its successful completion. After making today's grand finale a reality, ladies and gentlemen, we have the opportunity to get to know the great team behind the organizing of this competition. As the old saying goes, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much more. Here's to the organizing committee, the panel of moderators, university representatives, student chapter chairman, and last but not least, our very own panel of judges.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for that. And now I would like to, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very much honored and flattered to invite the president of IESL, the Institute of Engineers, Sri Lanka, the honorable chief guest of this occasion, Engineer KPIU Dharmapala, to share your message.
Engineer Damik Dissanayake, Chairman of YEMS, Organizing Committee of the Inter-University Debate Competition, distinguished guests from universities, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to thank the YEMS Chairman and the Organizing Committee of the Debate Competition for inviting me as the chief guest for this event. YMS being one of the most active and dedicated committees in the IESL, I greatly appreciate their work towards grooming graduates to become capable engineers in the future. While you are developing your knowledge in selected fields of study, it is equally important that you build additional skills such as leadership, teamwork, communication, and so on. Communication is an essential skill for engineers. Engineers are dreamers. They are responsible for dreaming up and building systems because their roles require team building and leadership. Engineers must be able to clearly communicate complex ideas and technical project plans. They also need to be strong persuaders to see their designs come to life. Building consensus is a great giant step towards delivering a project on time and according to specifications. In my opinion, it is not difficult to improve your communication skills and become a good communicator. However, the only thing that can stop you from progressing is a lack of recognition. You must remember that you must put forth effort to improve your communication skills in order to become a good communicator. Confidently express ideas and thoughts, make a better impression on the people with whom you are interacting. Being self-assured demonstrates your authority on the subject and allows your audience to trust your abilities. Maintaining eye contact, maintaining good body posture, and expressing gratitude are always to demonstrate confidence in conversation. All of these things will help you connect better with your listeners and leave a lasting impression. If you want to master the art of communication, you must first develop self-confidence. However, there is a fine line between confidence and arrogance that you should never cross. It is quite common for people who are overconfident to sound more loud and aggressive during a conversation, to consider others' thought to be inferior, and to prove their point forcefully. When you and your audience respect each other, communication is always successful. You should respect the ideas and opinions of others during a conversation and allow them to speak freely about whatever is on your mind. I believe that the most important skill for becoming a great communicator is to be respectful of your audience. People are always eager to strike up a conversation with you and listen to what you have to say. The distinction between hearing and listening is significant. While hearing simply improves receiving sound in the form of words and sentence, listening entails hearing the words and sentences first and then processing them to comprehend their meaning.